Kenyan dream. Prophecy about United States will be united again. Dream in nutshell. Like Kenyans, United States and the world are divided. There is a huge gap between the left and right. But darker times are coming. Life will reach the bottom of Kenyan. And the people from the left and right in the bottom of problems became friendly with each other again. Short explanation. There will be a season when more problems are coming to the United States and to the world. Because the people will found themselves in the bottom. They will humble themselves before the God and before each other. Their hearts will be changed. I have received this dream from Jesus on the 13th of July, 2020, early hours on Monday. It was one of the 3 dreams I have received on the same morning. The dream is about humbleness, breakthrough, and help of Jesus, help of angels. During this video, there is a part when I will show you some drawings about the dream from Jesus. It will make you easier to visualize and put yourself in the middle of the dream. I also attach some photos about footpaths, skywalks, narrow roads, canyons, and a hotel. The glass hotel in my dream was almost similar to the hotel on the photos you will see. The canyon in my dream was a dry canyon with no river in it. For many years, I had many dreams about gaps, abyss, deeps, or being chased, but with no escape or way out. And within just 2 weeks, I received 3 different dreams about gaps, abyss, being chased, but with escape and solution. This dream is one of those dreams. There is a solution for way out, meaning our season is changed. This season will be very different than any others before. In my dream, I represent you as well and anyone who have ear to hear the message. In the dream from Jesus, I started my journey on a skywalk over a canyon. There was a big backpack on me, but it was ultra lightweight. I did not feel the weight. Jesus is gentle with us, not harsh. With Jesus, we don't need to carry any heavy weight in our lifetime journey. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light." There are several main parts of this dream. Parts means seasons. First, I was with a group of people at the edge of canyon. In the middle of canyon, in the level with the highest sides, in parallel with 2 edges, there was a narrow skywalk without railings. The journey on it looked so dangerous that I was the only one who started the journey on it. There was a gap on the skywalk a couple of hundreds meters away, and there wasn't any railings. In real life, I'm not that brave. By walking hundreds of meters away, I have reached the gap on the narrow skywalk. Ahead of me, the whole skywalk collapsed and disappeared. An angel helped me to reach the bottom of canyon safely. There was a narrow road on the bottom of valley as well, carved into the rocks. A couple of kilometers road was busy. People were crossing the road in perfect shoes, with perfect hair, perfect clothes. There was a vibrant life in it. It was like a high street with smaller shops. Many people lived their life there. I was following the angel, who sometimes changed her appearance. This was a quick version. I'm starting it over with details. You can also find the details on my drawings. In the dream, I was on top of canyon with 8 or 10 other tourists. The canyon was in the United States. It was a dry canyon with no river in it. We were standing near to the edge, checking the skywalk, which was running in parallel with edges many miles away in the middle of canyon. The skywalk basically was a wooden, narrow path, wooden with no bumps. In some places, the shape of skywalk was curved, following the route of canyon in the middle of it, but from above. The narrow skywalk made of square-shaped wooden timbers, with about 80 centimeters wide in size. The thickness of it was about 5 centimeters. As I said, there was a skywalk in the middle of canyon, running parallel with the edges of canyon. The skywalk placed high, on the same level like the highest points of canyon. I will attach some simple drawings to help you with the visuals. I had a big backpack on my back to carry, an ultralight backpack. It was like I was not carrying anything. It was on me. I did know it, but it did not disturb me during my journey. That bag was so perfect. I had the feeling that I don't carry anything. Before my journey, I was standing at the edge of canyon, at the beginning of a narrow skywalk with other 8 or 10 tourists with big backpacks as well. Because of the skywalk had no safety railings and there was a gap on it about 1 kilometer away, the other tourists are turned back and did not continue their journeys and went to find another road. In real life, I don't like heights and skywalks, but in a dream, I figured out that I just need to focus one step at a time, and I will find out something about the gap when I reached it. I started my steps on the wooden skywalk without railings. Walking on it was so easy. It was like I'm walking on the street. It was totally safe. Meaning, sometimes we don't start a task or something to do because it seems too hard. But starting is the hardest part. When you start to do it, it is not hard at all. You need just start to do the things. I don't remember how, but I reached the gap. I was not looking around, and I was not looking back. I stopped before the gap. After the gap, ahead of me, the whole skywalk was collapsed and totally disappeared. I wasn't able to continue my journey. I started to see myself as an outsider from different angles, from bird view. It was like a drone is making film around me. The whole skywalk underneath me made of wood. The square timber steps were next to each other, without gaps. Underneath of each wooden steps, there were long wooden ladders vertically next to each other, but not for humans to climb. I did not want to turn back, so I started to look down, gazing into the darkness underneath me and around me. Seconds later, my eyes adjusted to the darkness, and I noticed that there is a vibrant life in the bottom of canyon. It was like a town in distance, lots of people walking around, but they were not tourists. The wooden step underneath my shoes became transparent, so I noticed 2 people at the bottom of ladder attached to the timber step I was standing on. Those 2 people were looking up to my direction and wanted to help me to get me down from the edge. One of them became taller and taller, like a giant, and reached the skywalk. She helped me down and placed me into the bottom of the valley. I was in a safe place again. While she helped me down, she became human-sized again, and the other person just disappeared without any trace. The angel in disguise had a long ombre hair, made into 2 braids behind her ears. She was wearing a big backpack. Within seconds, she was 20 meters ahead of me, on a narrow path carved into the rock in the middle, on the same line where the skywalk ahead of me was standing before. Because I wanted to get out from the bottom of the valley, I started to follow the angel, who seemed to know the way out. I started to follow her on the narrow path, but she was very quick. She had a woman look. As she walked, her look changed again, different clothes, short red hair. From time to time, she disappeared for seconds and suddenly appeared another 20 meters ahead of me. She was so quick with her way of walk. The distance between us started to grow. In the bottom of canyon, there was no perfect light. The bottom of canyon was so deep, the sunshine did not reach it. The yellow, red, and brown colors were mixed together as light from above. It was orangish, reddish light in there and some shadows. The narrow road carved into the rock was not perfectly smooth. There were more smaller bumps, so I had to watch my steps as well. Despite of this, the narrow road was in better condition than the wide high street on the left and on the right ahead of me. That was uneven with big rocks. As I followed the angel, started to see lots of people again who were living in the canyon. It was like a big city, but just in the bottom of canyon. It was a living place for hundreds of people. Women and men were wearing perfect shoes, perfect hair, perfect clothes, like the people in the city. The bottom of canyon was like a high street. Shops were carved into the rocks on the right and the left side as well. People who were living on the left crossed the road to visit the shops on the right. People who were living on the right crossed the road to visit the shops on the left. They became very friendly with each other, started to talk with each other with love. The only building which was stepped into the high street was a big glass hotel. I saw from a distance that the girl with short red hair entered into the glass building, which was a hotel. I was way behind her. As I reached the hotel, I was gazing through the glass wall from the street. In the hotel lobby, there were a lot of people waiting for check-in. I did not see the red girl anymore. The angel disappeared. Behind the hotel, I noticed the stairs. It was the way out, for the way up to an unknown territory. I was thinking, what should I do at the front of the hotel? A cool-looking man interrupted me just before the entrance of glass-walled hotel. He asked me, "Can I join to the group? Is there still time?" I said yes, he can still join to us. And the dream was over. Explanation. The narrow skywalk without railings looked unsafe. It seemed hard to walk, but with faith in God, it's perfectly safe walking on it like you would walk on the ground. It was the second test from the God. God is testing us. The first test was the people I left behind. It can be family members, fake friends, or just people who had other paths. Not everybody walking on the same path. Third test. There is a gap on your skywalk. Later, the wall bridge is collapsing, for even the ones who are able to walk above the valley have to descend to the dark valley. People are living there. There is a life there. We need to be humble. Even in the dark valley, we are able to follow the lead of Jesus and angels. Sometimes angels rescue us and lead us for a while. Test of 4. Dark valley with high street, meaning darker times. We have found ourselves in the bottom. This is the time when the people humble themselves before God and before each other. Humble people treat each other better and able to love each other. Jesus is humble. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. According to this dream, the United States will be united for a while with no division. The bottom of canyon is not divided. In the bottom of canyon, the division is over, so something dark is coming, and we will find ourselves in the bottom. There are shops in the bottom, people crossing the road from the left, from the right, to the other side, meaning people accept each other, even shopping for other ideas. The way of their thinking changes, no bias. Brainwashing is over. There is a way out, but before the way out, there will be a darker season for good. People will be united for a while, and their hearts are healing. A breakthrough is coming after the dark season. Shout to Jesus, he will listen. You have put me in the lowest pit, in the darkest depths. Your wrath lies heavily on me. You have overwhelmed me with all your waves. You have taken from me my closest friends, and have made me repulsive to them. I am confined and cannot escape. My eyes are dim with grief. I call to you, Lord, every day. I spread out my hands to you. Do you show your wonders do you show your wonders to the dead? No. Jesus will show his wonders to us.